Tonight, pedaling toward a brighter future at the CN Cycle for CHEO.
We've got over 6,000 cyclists, walkers, participants, all helping us raise money for CHEO.
The goal of raising $2 million to support care and groundbreaking research for the kids and families at CHEO. The Prime Minister has landed in Armenia.
Had a successive number of Prime Ministers, but I would say that this is more than ever great if you could make it.
Mark Carney invited to address the European Parliament on his latest international trip to diversify Canada's trading partners. Oil prices surge as U.S. President Donald Trump mulls over a new peace proposal.
We can see in the futures market that oil prices are already lower 3 months, 6 months, 9 months out.
Oil prices are expected to drop once the war is over, as Trump weighs in on the latest proposal from Iran. And honoring a pillar of the community.
I've always been proud of you, Peter, and now the world is showing it too.
A vigil held for Peter Clark, the crossing guard killed while on duty in March. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Austin is on assignment today. We begin with the 19th annual CN Cycle for CHEO, taking place this morning at LeBreton Flats, raising funds for cancer care and research to support the Children's Hospital. One of the early risers to see all the action, our CTV's Camille Wilson, back after the race. How was it, Camille?
Right and early I was, Kimberley. What a beautiful day it was to raise money for a good cause. Thousands of people pedaled into a brighter future to support children with cancer, and how inspiring it was to see children and families that have their own personal experience.
I had cancer.
This isn't just any ride for 6-year-old Piers Corsi and his family.
He's a cancer survivor. He had a type of kidney cancer diagnosed around 18 months of age. So we've been doing it as a family for the last 5 years.
It's a family affair participating in their 5th CN cycle and 4 years since Piers finished his treatment.
He has 3 older siblings as well, 1 riding in the 100 kilometers, 2 riding in the 70 with their dad, and then the 3 of us are doing the 35.
The 19th annual CN Cycle for CHEO bringing out more than 6,000 cyclists and walkers, helping raise money for the Children's Hospital in a 100K, 70K, 35K, 15-kilometer cycle, and a 2K and 5-kilometer walk.
This is the largest fundraiser we have for oncology programs at CHEO, so for us this means we're going to be able to give over $2 million to the Research Institute, to CHEO, to help with research and care for oncology patients.
First and foremost, why not? Why not? This is for the kids. It's for CHEO. I'm fit body, able body. How many kids are sitting in that hospital today that can't be here? I'm cycling for them. I'm cycling for them. And for the CHEO bear hug at the end.
emceed by CTV Ottawa's Austin Lee.
We want to serve the communities that we run through, support Ottawa. We're a proud part of the community. And we've just been so thrilled to be able to support the work that CHEO is doing over the last 19 years.
Maureen Rogerson and Team Zach riding to remember her Zachary, who passed away from cancer at age 16.
4th year of doing Team Zach, and our 3rd without him. And Zach helped design the t-shirts. Yeah, he designed the shirts.
This year's event raising nearly $2.2 million for CHEO that will directly support vital care and research.
Just like to say thank you to all the sponsors. We've had a great partnership with CN for many, many years, 19 years in fact, and we're back here again to put on this beautiful event and just say thank you to everybody for helping us participate.
And Piers was one of the top fundraisers.
We do a lot of fundraising, right, Piers? So lots of friends, family, colleagues that support us. It's just been such a positive way of celebrating the success for him and everything that he's been through and where he is now. It's just really special for us to be here participating.
The emotional day concluded with lots of fun and activities for family while keeping those of loved ones in mind and continuing to push for further pediatric oncology care and research. For those looking to donate, can still do so on the CN Cycle website. Kimberley.
Yeah, some great weather they had today, too. CTV's Camille Wilson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Camille. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on today's CN Cycle for CHEO. A community in Barrhaven is coming together to honor a man many say was a familiar face at a local crosswalk. A vigil was held for Peter Clark, the crossing guard killed while on duty in March, as residents remember his impact. CTV's Josh Marano joins us now with more from today's vigil. Josh.
Yeah, Kimberley, the vigil took place at Weybridge Park, just steps from where Clark spent his mornings helping children get to school safely. And that same community is gathering to grieve and to remember.
I've always been proud of you, Peter, and now the world is showing it too. You do deserve this recognition.
Pictures, flowers, and quiet reflection. Neighbors coming together to honor a man who was a daily presence for many families.
Most of you gathered here today knew Peter as the happy crossing guard, or the crossing guard with the friendly smile.
Peter Clark, remembered as a dedicated crossing guard, killed while on duty at the intersection of Cedarview Road and Kennevale Drive, an incident that shook the Barrhaven community.
Very overwhelming. It's really nice to be here and just be supportive, and for her to see, the impact that he had on the whole community.
He understood that what he was doing mattered, not just in keeping them safe, but in giving parents peace of mind and building connections that make a neighborhood stronger.
At the vigil at Weybridge Park, a table and stationery made available for those looking to share memories of Clark, along with the unveiling of a bench dedicated in his honor.
It takes a special kind of person to stand out there every day in all weather with focus and care and putting others first. And Peter Clark was that kind of person.
A driver has been charged in connection to the crash. 19-year-old Xander Wright pleaded guilty to one of the charges he is facing, failing to stop after an accident causing death, but pleaded not guilty to dangerous operation causing death.
If I could pass on one of the many lessons I learned from him, it is that every one of us has the capacity to spread good in the world, and that the world can use all the good that we can share.
More stories shared by family and friends, and expressing their gratitude to the community for the love they showed to their friendly neighborhood crossing guard, something his family says never went unnoticed.
His brief encounters with you, the members of this community, were helping him to build his confidence, and I will forever be grateful to you all.
People I spoke with today say the turnout shows just how much Clark meant to this community and that his love and kindness for those around him won't be forgotten. Kim.
CTV's Josh Marano reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Josh. CTV Ottawa has extended coverage of today's vigil for Peter Clark. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. A man is in serious condition following a motorcycle collision in Ottawa's West End this morning. Ottawa paramedics say they received a call around 9:10 a.m. for a crash involving a car and a motorcycle at Holly Acres Road and Carling Avenue. The motorcyclist suffered multiple injuries and was transported to the Ottawa Hospital Trauma Center in serious condition. Ottawa police say the crash investigation is ongoing. Gatineau police say a 21-year-old man is facing charges in connection with a late-night homicide at a strip club in Gatineau in April. According to a statement from police, Bradley Girard is facing one count of second-degree murder in connection with the death of 39-year-old Justin Larche. On April 23rd, police responded to reports of gunfire at Bar 77 in the Lac-Beauchamp district. Larche was found with serious injuries and pronounced dead at the scene. This is Gatineau's first homicide of the year. Ontario Provincial Police have issued arrest warrants for two people in connection with a homicide in Perth last month. 34-year-old Joseph Mador and 28-year-old Brayton Kennedy, both of Ottawa, are wanted on second-degree murder charges. Kennedy is described as 5'10", 260 pounds, with brown hair, blue eyes, and a tattoo on his forehead above his left eyebrow. Mador is described as 6'2", 190 pounds, with a medium build, hazel eyes, black hair, and tattoos. Police say neither man should be approached if seen. 39-year-old Christio Allison Richards of Ottawa was found critically injured at Lasduel Park in Perth on April 12th, where he later died in hospital. His death marks the third homicide in Perth in the last 10 years. Anyone with information is asked to contact Lanark County OPP or Crime Stoppers. An OPP officer who was killed in a collision on the 401 earlier this week will be laid to rest next week, Wednesday. Sergeant Brandon Malcolm died in a single-vehicle motorcycle crash on the 401 in Cobourg on Monday. The OPP Association has now shared the plans for his funeral. A private service will be held Wednesday morning at the Cobourg Community Centre. Malcolm joined OPP in 2020 and has served as a member of the service's Golden Helmets Precision motorcycle team. All right, we'll take our first check of the weather here in the capital. Absolutely gorgeous day if you were out and about. A little bit chilly, but again, the sun was out and things were looking great. We're looking at 11 degrees here in the capital. And again, mainly sunny conditions that we're dealing with here in the city. We're looking at 6 degrees here in Ottawa, 6 and 7 across the Seaway, 5 degrees for Bancroft, same thing for the Pembroke area. Over toward Gatineau, there we'll be looking at 5 degrees, 6 degrees for Montreal as well as Kemptville. 5 degrees toward Petawawa as well. Now, as for tomorrow's highs, we've got 17, a mix of sun and cloud. Could be some showers for the Ottawa area. 17 for Cornwall. We got 15 degrees across the rest of the Seaway. 17 for Gatineau. Same thing for Kemptville and for Petawawa. Prime Minister Mark Carney has touched down in Armenia, attending the European Community Summit, where he's looking to strengthen and expand the partnership between Canada and the EU. CTV's Graham Richardson has more.
Prime Minister, so glad to see you. It's very nice.
Prime Minister Mark Carney's first bilateral meeting today with Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan.
It's the first time in Armenia.
Carney mentioned the 60,000 Armenian Canadians, the value he places on their presence in Canada. In many ways, Armenia and Canada are in similar positions at this summit. Armenia attempting to pivot away from Russia's economic influence after so many decades. Canada, in a different way, doing the same thing when it comes to the Americans. Both countries speaking more, deepening ties, or at least trying to European countries. Carney and Canada are here as the first ever non-European leaders and delegates to join the European political community. They say the America's shift away from the rest of the world is a significant one that they need to adjust for. Late Sunday, Carney met with European officials and the Prime Minister of Poland. This is a very long way to go for a short series of meetings. The leader of the official opposition, Pierre Poilievre, says it's a waste of time.
Now he expects to have gushing media coverage for going on another trip, signing fake MOUs and giving dazzling speeches, all while delivering no real results here at home.
But not everyone sees it that way. Some analysts say in 2026, with the world facing so many challenges, leader to leader, face to face is invaluable.
A leader coming to meet head one-on-one or as a group and all that is just fundamental. That's when you create the links. That's when you can have really long-term bonds.
This summit started back in 2022 with the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Tomorrow, Carney will meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Obviously, security on the agenda there. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Yerevan, Armenia.
And stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the Prime Minister attending the European Political Community Leader Summit. For updates on radio, tune in to News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News channel at any hour. As Mark Carney works to diversify Canadian exports, much attention remains on working out a trade arrangement with the United States. Colorado Governor Jared Polis says waiting until the U.S. midterm elections later this year likely won't lead to much of a benefit for Canada.
Sadly, having served in Congress 10 years, I have to tell you that's not really the way our system works. We give tremendous authority to the executive in negotiating these kinds of agreements. Pressure, yes, but I don't think this president gives into that pressure.
Meantime, Republicans could very well lose control of Congress in November, leading to speculation the Carney government is trying to wait it out until then. Polis adds it's important to understand that Trump wants out of the United States-North American trade relationships, as well as what American negotiators are offering Canada. Well, Donald Trump's Treasury Secretary says he expects oil prices to drop once the war is over, as Donald Trump weighs in on the latest peace proposal from Iran. CTV's Natalie Van Rooy joins us now live with more details. Natalie.
Kimberley, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent telling Fox News today that he's confident oil prices will drop once the Iran war officially comes to an end. Bessent's comments come as Donald Trump is reviewing the latest 14-point plan from Iran focused on ending the war.
This gives me a lot of optimism that oil prices on the other side of this conflict are going to be much lower than they were going in or at the beginning of the year or at any point in 2025.
As part of the plan, Iran is calling for the withdrawal of U.S. forces near Iran, the lifting of the naval blockade, the release of Iranian assets, and a new control mechanism for the Strait of Hormuz. Now, Trump was asked Saturday about the possibility of restarting military strikes against Iran. Here's what he had to say.
If they misbehave, if they do something bad, but right now, we'll see. But, you know, it's a possibility that could happen, certainly.
Last week, a 60-day deadline passed where congressional approval is technically needed to continue military action. And the White House has said in recent days the conflict is over, with U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth saying the ceasefire means the 60-day count is paused. Kimberley.
CTV's Natalie and we're reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Natalie. Well, after reaching over $1.90 a liter at some gas stations across the capital last week, prices have come down slightly this weekend. The average price of gas across the city hovering around $1.86 for both Saturday and Sunday. Prices dropped below $1.70 last week after the federal government suspended the fuel excise tax for the summer. However, with the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, prices are expected to continue fluctuating. Well, scenic road trips are a summer staple for many Canadians, but with the price of fuel soaring, even a short trip out of town, well, it could cost you more. Some Canadians are hitting the brakes on trips. CTV's Camille has more on what it could mean for small businesses.
This is my 2016 Honda Civic.
This car was supposed to take Care Murphy all over Ontario this summer, planning an anniversary trip with her husband, but soaring gas prices have put the brakes on that plan.
Oh, it's bummer, man. We're so bummed out because this is what we love to do.
A hit to her personal plans and her profession. With her wedding DJ business now potentially switching gears on how far it's willing to go.
Can we, as a small business, feasibly afford to be giving away a free hour of travel to get to somebody's event?
Now, a new survey shows most Canadian drivers are choosing to limit their summer travel because of high gas prices. The poll done for the Tire and Rubber Association of Canada shows roughly 2/3 of Canadian drivers say they will cancel or limit road trips this summer because of high gas prices. Here at this Ontario rest stop, travelers,
we are kind of cutting off the routes we used to make.
Parking their plans.
I have to go all the way to Toronto, so it was crazy.
All of it possibly cooling down summer sales during a time when they're usually heating up. Betty's Pies and Tarts is right off this Ontario highway. Banking on customers spotting them while driving is baked right into the business plan.
We'll see lots of U-turns, pulling over on the side of the shoulder, then, backing up.
But there have already been fewer road trippers so far this year, and there's a worry it'll only get worse.
We're a little bit slower than we have been in years past. If the price of gas does continue to climb, it really could affect our business and the customers that we do see.
The hope here, Canadians will still travel on shorter trips, but long enough for these bakers to bring in the goods and satisfy wandering hearts like this one.
It may just come down to having to accept it and sort of suck it up.
Until summer travel becomes more affordable. Camille, CTV News, Port Hope, Ontario.
New data from Statistics Canada shows 1 in 10 Canadians are living below the poverty line. Stats Can's 2024 Canadian Income Survey shows poverty rates remained well above levels seen during the pandemic at only 11%, only slightly declining from 2023. Racialized groups, Indigenous people, and those living with diabetes make up a large percentage of Canadians living in poverty. Well, last night, the Ottawa Charge faced off in Game 2 on the road in their Walter Cup playoff series against the Boston Fleet. Ottawa dropped Game 1 on Thursday, looking to even the series in this first-round matchup.
Brought into the plan at that point. High shot, score from the blue line. Rania Savalainen lets it rip, and
Charge.
And the Charge off to another good start, opening up the scoring just like they did in Game 1. Rania Savalainen with her first career playoff goal puts Ottawa up 1-0 midway in the first. Then in the second, Ottawa up by 2. In the dying seconds, Boston, well, they get one back. It's 2-1 heading into the third. Then late in the third period, Boston pulls their goalie for the extra attacker, and the Charge, will they capitalize on the empty net? 3-1 is your final score. Ottawa's Gwen Phillips had 30 saves on the night. The series now moves back to the capital, I should say, and to the Canadian Tire Centre for Game 3 on Friday. Game 4 will be on Sunday. Puck drop for Game 3 is set for 7 o'clock. Well, it's officially a couple of days away, but Cinco de Mayo celebrations are underway in the Byward Market. Mexican heritage on full display in the market as live music, mouth-watering cuisine, and vibrant folk art were showcased under the dazzling Pepo Picao. Now, the event was designed by Vida Mexico and the Byward Market District Authority with dance workshops, carnival games, photo booth, and kids zones. And for the first time in Canada, a special Mexican art exhibition will be on display at Gallery 55 until May 30th. Ontario's touring Poutine Festival made a stop in the capital this weekend. This marks the 10th anniversary of Ottawa's Poutine Fest over at the Great Lawn at the RA Centre. There were over 30 vendors to sample poutine from across Ontario, plus a poutine competition for the best poutine and a poutine crawl to get your curd on. Well, if you missed it, don't worry, there's another one next weekend. The Poutine Fest moves to Carlton Place at Riverside Park next weekend. And stunning handcrafted ceramics and unique potteries were on display at the Ottawa Clay Festival. The Ottawa Guild of Potters hosted the event at the Horticulture Building in Downsview Park. The free event featured live clay demonstration, a kids' clay making table, live music, and pottery sales.
Are you ready to do some walking?
Well, the annual Walk So Kids Can Talk all across the country, raising money for Kids Health Phone. We have more from today's walk in Ottawa when we come back. Here's a look at the Queensway. East and westbound traffic lightly traveled right now across the highway. Not aware of any problems or trouble spots. Again, a gorgeous day if you need to be out and about and enjoy a drive. Well, today was the annual BMO Walk So Kids Can Talk, raising money to support Kids Health Phone. Over a dozen locations across Canada participated, including right here in the capital. And today's walk was emceed by our very own Your Morning Ottawa host, Rosietta.
Are you ready to do some walking?
The 5-kilometer walk taking place in person or virtually across Canada. Now, walkers here in Ottawa made their way to Andrew Hayden Park this morning to participate, and again, raising money to support Kids Health Phone.
It is the largest youth mental health fundraiser in Canada, so we're just so excited to see so many folks with their families, their teams from BMO here out to support youth mental health.
This year's event raising a grand total of $3.9 million across Canada at 16 locations. All right, we'll take another look at what's happening for your weather. Gorgeous day, sunny day here in the capital. We'll take a look at what people were up to today in and around the capital. Some people are enjoying the park, going for a bike ride, a jog here as well, and some people checking out the flowers that are in bloom. So definitely, spring has sprung here in the capital. So we'll take a look at what's happening through the satellite radar. Again, we do have some cloud cover that'll be coming in for the next couple of days or so. We're going to have some off and on showers that we'll be dealing with for the better part of the week. Across the country, we're looking at 2 degrees and some rain in Charlottetown, 6 degrees in the Fredericton area. We've got 4 degrees with some showers in Halifax as well. Toward Quebec City, overcast skies with 10 degrees there, 13 degrees here in the capital, 10 degrees with some overcast skies in the Toronto area, 5 degrees in Sudbury, 13 in Timmins. We've got some more sunshine towards the Thunder Bay area. They're sitting at 17 degrees. 21 degrees in Winnipeg. Same thing for Regina. Saskatoon, they're sitting at 17 degrees. Again, mainly cloudy skies for the better part of the Canada right now. Calgary, they're sitting at 21 degrees with some cloud cover, 16 in Edmonton, and 19 degrees with some sunshine over on the west coast in Vancouver. So head towards the Ottawa area. We're looking at 6 degrees for the overnight low, 17 degrees with some possible showers in the next 24 hours. And we've got 5 degrees in the valley. 17 degrees will be the high for your afternoon tomorrow. And toward the Seaway, we're looking at 6 degrees for the overnight low. And again, 17 degrees as well for the high tomorrow. So very similar right across the region. For the next 7 days, here how we're shaping up. On Monday, 17 degrees. Again, mainly cloudy. Then some showers should roll in on Tuesday and Wednesday. 60% chance on both of those days. A mix of sun and cloud on Thursday and some more showers to bring us in on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We've got 30% showers on Friday and Saturday, 20% chance right now for next Sunday. Today marks the 10-year anniversary of the Fort McMurray wildfire that devastated Alberta. The impact of the fire is still being felt a decade later, changing how people talk and deal with natural disasters.
One of the things we've learned is to be prepared even earlier. We've learned to increase that communication with the municipality, improve the way we can speak to each other on the radio. Are we speaking the same language? Are we using the same system? Are we cross-training with the municipality so they know what we're going to be doing in a wildfire and we can work accordingly so that everyone understands what everyone is doing?
The Horse River wildfire, nicknamed the Beast, forced 90,000 people to flee their homes. 2,500 homes were destroyed, along with nearly 6,000 square kilometers of boreal forest. According to the Insurance Board of Canada, it received 60,000 claims totaling $4 billion in insured damages. Now, with the World Cup just a few weeks away, one of the Canadian hosts is pulling out all the stops this weekend to put a fresh shine on the city.
We have FIFA World Cup coming. We have to keep the city of Toronto clean and beautiful.
Toronto's mayor, along with hundreds of city staff, are pitching in to help beautify the city. The Cleaning Blitz is part of the Keep Toronto Beautiful initiative launched last year, but is taking on an extra importance with soccer fans across the globe set to descend on Toronto. And hundreds of thousands of fans are expected in both Toronto and Vancouver when the World Cup kicks off next month. An influx that is expected to stretch first responders. CTV's Heather Wright has more on the preparations being made behind the scenes.
In Toronto, big events create big opportunities for the cities that host them.
This is a once-in-a-generation event.
But these events also create big challenges, with city councillors in Toronto meeting this week to discuss the compounding pressure the World Cup will put on first responders after a late request from FIFA for dozens of paramedics to be on hand at matches to respond to any player or fan injuries.
So for the stadium itself on match days, we're looking anywhere approximately to 40 to 50 paramedics at the stadium.
Toronto Police will be supported by police services from neighboring municipalities, and the city is considering asking for similar help for paramedics, who will also be stationed near FanFest and in nearby Liberty Village. Residents there are being warned to brace for heavy traffic, which could also slow down emergency vehicles.
There's lots of preparatory work.
Dr. Andrew Beckett is the trauma medical director at St. Michael's Hospital in downtown Toronto, a level 1 trauma center. He says hospitals in Toronto have been planning for the World Cup for months, with teams rehearsing any scenarios that could unfold during the 6 games played here.
We're really focused on planning for a worst-case scenario. If there was an event, we plan to how we're going to distribute the casualty load, how we're going to triage patients, and seeing what gaps we have in the system and capacities we can to make sure there's load sharing across the system.
With most hospitals already operating at 100% capacity or above, the expected surge in emergencies will test a healthcare system that is already stretched.
Toronto City Council will vote on the proposal to coordinate with nearby ambulatory services later this month, with the World Cup now a little more than 40 days away. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Just ahead, hundreds of police officers were honored today at the province's annual ceremony of remembrance. We'll have more from outside Queen's Park next. But first, here's a live look through our Centennial Skycam. We're sitting at 13 degrees here in the capital.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News. Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Hundreds of police officers who lost their lives in the line of duty were remembered at the 26th Annual Ontario Police Memorial Foundation Ceremony of Remembrance at Queen's Park today. As CTV's John Woodward reports, the ceremony honored officers who died over 100 years ago, as well as one who died just days ago.
Marching on foot, on motorcycle, on horseback, and even in helicopters in the air. Thousands of police officers from around Ontario paraded to Queen's Park for the Ontario Police Memorial Foundation Ceremony of Remembrance.
They made a difference in their communities, and their impact continues to be felt through the generation.
The ceremony honors some 284 police officers who have lost their lives on duty. One of them very recently. Sergeant Brandon Malcolm was just 33 when he was killed in a crash on Highway 401 near Cobourg.
I want to acknowledge and our prayers go out to OPP Sergeant Brandon Malcolm, who tragically lost his life in the line of duty.
In the crowds, 4 generations of descendants of another officer honored on Sunday, Lance Corporal John Baker, who in 1915 was struck and killed by a car while directing traffic.
What does it mean, do you think, to the other officers to know that over 100 years later we're still remembering?
Just that they'll never be forgotten for the work that they do.
Yeah, to see all this love and respect for all these people. It was just wonderful.
John Baker's name has been inscribed here at the Ontario Police Memorial. As you can see, many roses have been left to honor those who have died in the line of duty.
They're never forgotten. They're etched on the wall, and forever those names will be in our memories of what they stood for, what they gave, and this is what this is every year, is to keep that memory alive.
We never forget someone who was part of the public safety fabric of our province, and it doesn't matter if it's 100 years ago or if it's today.
Officers here know that the danger on the job is real, and so is the sacrifice. John Woodward, CTV News.
In tonight's Big Picture, Colombian singer Shakira performed to a massive crowd at Rio's Copacabana Beach during her stop on a world tour. Ahead of the show, drones lit up the sky, forming images of a she-wolf along with her silhouette. According to local media, the free concert drew an estimated 2 million people. The last free concert at Copacabana Beach was Lady Gaga in 2015, drawing a similar crowd of around 2 million attendees. Now for some other stories you need to know right now. History was made last night at Churchill Downs. The 23-1 long shot Golden Tempo helped make Cherie DeVoe the first female trainer to saddle a Kentucky Derby winner. This is also the coldest Kentucky Derby since 1989, with temperatures hovering at around 12 degrees Celsius. Now, Saturday's race kicked off the Triple Crown with the next stop, the Preakness Stakes, set for May 16th.
Kept in by Hagel, sidesteps some pressure. Here's a chance in front. Gonzalez scores. Gage Gonzalez.
Canada's last hope of bringing the Stanley Cup north of the border will have one more chance to stay alive. Montreal lost a heartbreaking Game 6 at home in overtime on Friday night to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Game set of the second round matchup goes down tonight at 7 o'clock in Florida.
Barnes in the paint. RJ the deep three. High up the heel and through.
Well, and I never get tired of watching that. And it's another winner-take-all for the only Canadian team in the NBA. Tonight, the Raptors are primed for Game 7 of their first-round series tonight against Cleveland after a thrilling overtime victory in Toronto on Friday. Now, this marks the 7th time in franchise history the Raptors will play in a deciding Game 7. rewinding the clock and busting out their best moves. That's a look at last night's Move 100's Millennial Mixtape Dance Party at the Museum of Nature. Is hosted by the morning show's Sophie and Jeff. It was a throwback to the 90s and early 2000s with a photo booth, great music, great fun, and great company. And the FIFA World Cup 2026 volunteer uniforms are officially here, and they're designed to stand out. Created by Adidas, the bold look features the tournament's signature design and the volunteer program's heart pattern, recognizing the volunteers as the heartbeat of the World Cup. Now, the kit is built for all kinds of weather. Volunteers will also be able to customize their look with host patches.
Is it surprising? No. Is it alarming? Yes.
Well, coming up, concerning data revealed on youth radicalization. We'll bring you the latest on the growing number of young people involved in counter-terrorism online.
Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
One other sign that summer is just around the corner. Today marks opening day at Canada's Wonderland. So if you're planning a trip to the GTA, this will be the first full season for the Alpine Fury, billed as the longest, tallest, and fastest launch roller coaster in the country. And one of the classic roller coasters has a refresh this season. Flight Deck Top Gun has a new theme and is now called the Daredeviler, complete with new trains and track work. The Splashworks water park, though, opens for the season on May 23rd. A new report from Canada's Security and Intelligence Agency has brought to light some alarming data about youth radicalization. According to CSIS year-end report for 2025, a growing number of young people are involved in counter-terrorism investigations. And as CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports, it's happening online.
It is a frightening trend and a statistic that is likely to shock many, just not those in the intelligence community.
Is it surprising? No. Is it alarming? Yes.
The Canadian Security and Intelligence Service, CSIS, says a growing number of youth, some as young as 13, are involved in select counter-terrorism investigations. In fact, the agency says nearly 1 in 10 of its terrorism investigations now includes at least one person under the age of 18.
The internet and digital media and the interconnectivity of everything now, it's becoming a target.
Neil Bisson is a former CSIS intelligence officer and says vulnerable and impressionable youth are being targeted online.
Younger and younger people are using or being involved in terrorist-related activity because of what they're seeing, what they're ingesting, and who they're communicating with online.
The CSIS report cites young people's access to ideologically and religiously motivated violent extremism content as a reason for this concerning trend.
You have social media, encrypted messaging, online gaming platforms. These are all platforms that are able to connect directly with kids and be exploited.
This cybersecurity and tech analyst suggests regulatory changes could help, but says the online platforms could be doing more too.
Platforms need to do a lot more. I don't think that they're doing enough when it comes to protecting youth and ensuring that the content on their platform is safe.
The realities of this trend are already becoming clear. Just weeks ago in an Ottawa courtroom, a youth was found guilty of terrorism charges involving Islamic State-inspired plans to attack Jewish people. Jeremy Sharon, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, after the break, we'll have more on this eccentric Quebec duo making their mark on the international stage. A Quebec duo known for their unconventional music and extraterrestrial look is back home playing to packed audiences, many who loved their music long before the band exploded on a global stage. CTV's Jean-Vian Beauchemin has more.
A small venue in Quebec's Saguenay region filled with an otherworldly sound of success. The duo, angine de poitrine, that's a French medical term for thoracic pain, played to its hometown, far from the big cities, launching its second label-defying album. With all their fame now, it's so cool that they're here, he says, honoring club dates booked long before they landed on global charts. They played small Quebec venues through April. In their polka dot costumes, DIY papier-mâché headpieces, and captivating sound, described as a microtonal revolution, Angine de Poitrine went viral with this session for Seattle's KEXP radio. They're called Klek, hard-hitting drummer, and Kent with a double-necked electric guitar bass. They say they're alien voyagers who landed on Earth aboard a pyramid-shaped spacecraft. And they also speak an alien language. In reality, they're two anonymous musicians from the Saguenay region who have played together for decades.
It starts always very complex, and then it gets into something really regular with a downbeat that you can actually dance to.
Their complex music, wrapped in a playful act, hits the right tone at this moment, says composition professor Pierre Michaud.
You have something, for me, which is probably like the most anti-AI proposition musically that you could have in popular music, at least. So it's really two humans, even though they say they're extraterrestrial, but that's probably the thing. Maybe you are like an extraterrestrial if you're human now, because everything seems so, pre-formatted, I guess.
It may be a little bonkers to some, but everything Angine de Poitrine is making the rounds worldwide. And while it may just be one of the hottest bands on the planet, perhaps Galaxy, they're still home in Saguenay. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Guys, there's literally a guy that's like flying, but that's not even the most impressive part.
When we come back, we'll take one more look at the forecast, plus details of what's going on in Florida with this jetpack and a jet ski. A live look now through our Centennial Glass Sky camera, still sitting at 13 degrees. A mix of sun and cloud out there right now in Ottawa.
Tonight, the showdown over social media restrictions.
How are we going to monitor that? How are we going to restrict it?
Why some parents think a ban for young people is not the answer. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's a recap of the top stories we're following right now.
Celebrating the success for him and everything that he's been through and where he is now.
Pedaling toward a brighter future at the CN Cycle for CHEO. Today's ride and walks raised over $2 million to support care and groundbreaking research for the kids and families at the Children's Hospital.
I'd be very pleased to take that up. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The Prime Minister has landed in Armenia. Mark Carney has been invited to address the European Parliament on his latest international trip to diversify Canada's trading partners.
I've always been proud of you, Peter, and now the world is showing it too.
And a community coming together to honor one of its own. A vigil was held today for Peter Clark, the crossing guard killed while on duty in March. And now final look at your wake-up weather as well as your 7-day forecast. 6 degrees is what we're waking up to in the capital. Again, we have a mix of sun and clouds to deal with on your Monday. And here's how the week is shaping up. Again, Monday, a mix of sun and cloud, and then we have some showers rolling in on Tuesday and Wednesday, a 60% chance on both of those days. But it looks like the week will be hitting around the mid-teens. And again, toward the end of the week, we'll have some more showers that'll be rolling through the capital. Well, it's time now to check and see what our news team will be working on tonight. CTV's Natalie Van Roy will be joining us at the desk. Natalie.
Thanks, Kimberley. Well, we will be heading to Gatineau for a planned vigil for the victim of the city's first homicide of the year. Bar 77 posting to social media today that it will be holding a vigil to honor 39-year-old Justine Larche at 8 p.m. The building is where Larche was fatally shot last month. Gatineau police announced today that a 21-year-old man is now facing charges in connection to her death. You can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Thank you, Natalie. All right. So when we report a story that involves a Florida man, it could be just about anything, right?
Exactly. So take a look at this. A Florida man floating above the water, and take a look at who he's with.
Guys, there's literally a guy that's like flying, but that's not even the most impressive part. He has a dog on his jet ski.
The man was propelled on a jet ski hoverboard, propelled by a hoverboard, and he's towing his dog on a jet ski. How cool is that?
I want to say, like, don't do this at home. Like,
Exactly.
what is happening?
Yeah, the dog was seen with like sunglasses on, just cruising, living it up, right? Only in Florida.
Only in Florida.
Oh my goodness.
Jinx.
Funny stuff there. Well, that's CTV News for this Sunday, May the 3rd. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in tonight at 11:30. Natalie will be at the desk.